Greetings, fellow Portal Masters. Greetings, fellow Portal Masters. I am Crash Rouse, and it's once again time to crash the Skylanders with another episode of Second Chance. Now, this is a series where I go back to my top 10 least favorite Skylanders and literally redo all of them to see if they deserve a second chance, to see if that list isn't what it is. So far, we've had 5 episodes. 2 of them have been good, the other 3 have been bad. Now, this episode, I decided to do something for myself. Because a lot of people have been commenting saying, oh, I know what next week's episode, or next month's episode is going to be. It's probably going to be Ninjini, because you just started off the Giant Lock. And he probably finished it so Ninjini gets a good second chance. Or, I think it might be Blast Zone, because he just finished the Chosen Lock, and he got to use him a lot, and he really enjoyed him in the game. Here's the thing. You're wrong. It's Wham Shell. So Wham Shell is one of those Skylanders that everybody loves. One thing I noticed reoccurring in my top 10 least favorite Skylanders video was a lot of people were defending Wham Shell. Now, as I said, I got Wham Shell the same day I got Prison Break, so it was kind of like a disappointing day for me, even though he was really rare at the time. Now, the one thing I realized about Wham Shell is when I first played as him, that was pretty much it. I only played him in my first playthrough, and that was kind of it. I never really played as him again. I only recently played him again in a live stream that I did. So, for the first time in this entire playthrough, with this entire series of Second Chance, this is the first Skylander that I'm going to have fully upgraded going into the trial period. So, did Wham Shell live up to expectations? Live up to what you guys have been telling me and all that? Well, surprise, surprise, he did. So before anything, Wham Shell's full upgrade, when you give him his Wow Pow with his extra shell strength, looks terrifying. I first saw him and I'm like, okay, he looks really creepy. It looks like his shell goes over his eyes. He just becomes like this monster-looking thing with the giant spikes and everything on his back. So I didn't think they should have upgraded his look with the Wow Pow, but regardless, it made him stronger, so that was pretty good. One of the first things I noticed is that his mace, where you shoot the like the starfish out, it isn't any faster once he's fully upgraded. And I'm like, okay, that's not really great. But it's good for ranged attacks. You can hold it down and you can do a big shot, but it doesn't shoot very far away. But I mean, that's not his main weapon. I mean, that's his circle move. So I got a hang of that. I just shot a couple times, but I was very, very impressed with his mace. When you use his swinging move, it hits a lot harder and a lot faster and in a big range. So you can hit multiple enemies with one big swing, which one thing I really enjoyed. But the biggest shocker to me, and that's not a pun, is his shockwave move where he jumps up and smashes down his mace. I took out loads of enemies, and you even see it in the video, that I took out massive packs of enemies with just one of those shockwaves. It is an extremely strong move once it's fully upgraded. I gave him the top path, and I don't know if that makes him tougher with that move and stuff, and I know if you use the bottom path, his range ability will be stronger, but I want to use the top one because I think I'd like to upgrade his mace the most. So, I gotta say, his shockwave is hands down the best thing about him. I really enjoyed that, but the mace where you can swing and hit multiple enemies was a really big increase too. I really liked that it could hit multiple enemies, and once upgraded, it gave a lot more strength to it. So I thought it was really cool that it upgraded that. Overall, he is pretty enjoyable once he's upgraded. When you first get him, I remember when I first played as him, I wasn't a big fan of him. I didn't like his style, I didn't like his moveset, I just thought it was kind of bland. But once you upgrade him, his mace becomes really good. His mace is a really strong move, really strong weapon, but it's just that range move is not the best. And I mean, if I use the bottom path, maybe he'd be a million times better. Maybe if I get a second Wham Shell, or I can use the light core Wham Shell from, Swap Force, and do his bottom path and just see the difference with that. But that's the only negative thing I have about him. But I can tell you that I really, really enjoy his mace, and I can see that working out to be an awesome move in, say, battle mode or anything, which I've never used him in battle mode. So I could see that doing a lot better. But in my opinion, upgrading him improves him a lot, and I really enjoyed his upgrades. So honestly, I can see why you guys like Wham Shell. He got a lot better with his upgrades. When you first get him as a regular Skylander, he's not the best. His moves are pretty slow. His weird mace that he shoots for some reason, they're kind of slow and not really accurate and all that. But once he upgrades, minus the fact he looks really creepy, his shockwave move where he slams down his mace is extremely strong. The swings become really strong and faster. And the shooting thing, even though it's not the greatest, it still gets better and you can hit large, far away attacks. So, I gotta say, you guys really wanted me to do this one, and I gotta say I was impressed. So Wham Shell, welcome to the good pile. So we're 6 episodes in and we are completely even, 3-3, with only 4 Skylanders left. So next month is going to be another episode of Second Chance. One of these 4 will be displayed. And we'll see which one of these might join these 3 over here or join the 3 on the shelf in the room. But if you guys enjoyed, you got to let me know by leaving a like and a comment below. Come back next month. I know it's a month. I'm sorry that they come out once a month, but I feel like they're a lot better to do instead of doing them 10 episodes every week, like every single week. But regardless, come back next month for another episode of Second Chance. Leave in the comments who you think is next. It's probably not going to be it, even if you say all 4. Well, then it has to be one of them. But regardless, I bid you farewell.